170 days to go and still no trailer, but we do finally have some news on it. At least we know that it's being played at the El Capitan Theater, and a few people have seen it and posted a couple nasty rumors, including one about the White Witch being frozen in an ice block. Yeah, I don't think I can express how terrible that would be, like, in just a quick comment, so I'm gonna talk about that in a later video, because this is gonna be my first Narnia product review. Certainly not the last. As we get closer to the movie, I'll review things like action figures and books and the master replicas and stuff. But the first Narnia product I'm going to review is not necessarily movie related. It is the Chronicles of Narnia Pop-Up Book, based on the books by C.S. Lewis and the pop-ups by Robert Sabuda. Now, this came out today. One of the things I've noticed is that first off, they're in chronological order, which means Magician's Nephew is first. And if you want to see why publication order is so much better than chronological order, you can read my 17th video, you can look at my 17th video, which is called The Order Debate. But so what I'm going to do is, because this is my video review, I'm going to look at them in the order that Lewis actually wrote the book. So I'm going to skip Magician's Nephew here, since it's actually the 6th book. And we're going to skip straight ahead to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So enjoy the review. Okay, first off, let's go ahead and open it to Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. That rather startled me the first time. It's amazing how much it comes off the page. Look at that. And right here you can see there's the iconic image of Tumnus walking in the snow. Here is his home, which you can see a pretty clear movie influence over there in the design of his home. It looks very similar to the movie. Then of course there is the iconic lamppost, which is done in a few pieces to kind of give it that kind of a it doesn't really I can't really do the pop-ups justice on camera, but it kind of gives it kind of a 3D look to it, which is pretty cool. Over here's the wardrobe. I like what they did with the wardrobe. I'll tell you why in a second. Come over here to this side. You can see lift the flap to open the wardrobe, which I'm going to do right now. And let me untuck it right here. And it go like that, and watch what happens. Woo! The wardrobe opens to reveal the Pevensies. And there's Lucy with blonde hair, just like in the book. That's cool. It also reveals the White Witch. Just so you can see what I'm doing. It also reveals the White Witch, who's not white. I don't know what it is with Narnia adaptations, not understanding that the White Witch is white. Why is that so complicated? I don't know. But she's not white, and she's whipping the reindeer. Not very White Witch-like at all. But we come up here, and there is the White Witch's castle at the top right here. And that looks pretty different from the movie. Kind of a similar color, but still pretty different design. So overall, I would say that this is probably my second favorite of the batch. This wardrobe thing is really cool, even though I hate the White Witch. So now we're going to skip ahead to Prince Caspian here. And here we go. Do that again. And this is definitely the worst one. Caspian, it took me a few minutes to realize what scene they were even depicting, because Caspian, his head doesn't really come up all the way, as you can see. His sword is also kind of out of place. He looks double jointed. And it's not very well put together. I have a lot of problems with this one and things not folding correctly. Cornelius looks pretty good. Trumpkin looks like he has no neck and his head is like screwed onto his chest or something. I don't know what's going on with that. Also, there's a very clear movie influence here. You can see the gold lion on his red armor. Also, Trumpkin's got that shield, so very clear movie influence here. I don't really get why they chose to put Pattertwig in the corner right here instead of Reepicheep. I mean, out of all the characters to pick. And this one I also frequently have trouble folding it. It's hard to get it to go back together. Step one is to make sure that the sword is back there. And that goes in like that. So you have to kind of play with this one to get it to close again. So that's definitely the worst one. The Prince Caspian one sucks. Now we go ahead to the next one. I'm going to go to Voyage of the Dawn Treader. And it shows the Dawn Treader. And the thing that makes this one really unique is it actually has a real sail, which I think is really cool. That just, somehow folds up with the rest. It's like a real purple cloth sail, which as Lewis describes. And I like obviously you have to kind of stylize the art to make it work for pop-up art. Instead of pop art, it's pop-up art. And so I think this is a pretty cool design for the Dawn Treader, considering it's a pop-up book, and they've got some characters on the deck here. I noticed that it's kind of hard to get the characters to stand up. They don't really do it on their own. But real cloth, real ropes, is really cool. For one of the first things I noticed is, where's Reepicheep? How can you have Voyage of the Dawn Treader without Reepicheep? They have a few other characters on here, but they don't have Reepicheep, so that really annoyed me. But 360 degree Dawn Treader. And it's just amazing how intricate the pop-up is, by the way. It just comes out with that real cloth. So this is really unique and fun. I like this one. Moving on to the next one. This was Tyrians Favorite. You can also read Tyrion's review, by the way, at narniaweb.com. And this one comes up to show when they're flying to the Parliament of Owls. And do that again for you. We do it in slow-mo so you can see what it does. See how it, like, folds? It's crazy how complex it is. But one of the first things I noticed is the vines right here are really cool. You can see how they, like, kind of, then they all just fold together. I love the vines. I also like how Glumpuddle here, you notice, see how his wings are kind of up in the air, and then when I go like that, they kind of flap down like he's catapulting up. That's really neat. This kind of implies that they took two different owls to the Parliament of Owls, when in fact Glumpuddle actually took both of them. He took Eustace and he went back and got Jill, so this kind of contradicts the book. So I can't stand how Eustace looks here. He looks like an idiot. And Jill looks really excited, and that's not really what this scene is like in the book. So even though they picked kind of a cool moment to show from the book, they didn't do a very good job of, you know, sort of evoking it. By the way, each one has a little summary of the scene that's being depicted, which I don't have time to read all of them. But so this one's a great job on the pop-up, even though the artwork isn't great. The artwork, I don't really like the artwork for most of this, even though the pop-ups are awesome. So let's go to the Horse and His Boy. This one I really like. Let me show you. Kind of an obvious one. I like this one because of how simple it is. A lot of those are really complex, and that's awesome, but this one's very simple. Just, I like how if you go like this, it's kind of like they're galloping. You know, it's really cool. And I love the way they drew Bree's head. That's really cool. There's a real rope right there that's attached to Shasta's hand, and so that's really cool. And so I just like the simplicity of this one. I think it's really awesome. He did it in slow mo. And I just like how it's almost like Bree is striking a pose. You know, it's like for the camera or something. So great job on that one. I just love the simplicity of that one, even though complex ones are cool. Now let's go to the Magician's Nephew. The first one, even though it's actually the 6th book. The first one in this book. It's got Aslan kind of goes, rah! He jumps out at you. And, which is really cool the way it's done. We do it in slow-mo. First thing I noticed is that his eyes, if you look at his eyes here, you can see them when the book is kind of bent, but the more you open them, the more his eyes kind of disappear. It's like he's getting tired. His mouth, one thing that's cool, his mouth moves a little bit, so you can make him talk. Hello, my name is Aslan. I'm just going to sing Narnia into existence. Oh. Or maybe he's dancing. You know, whatever. I really like this part. Over here you've got stars and planets and stuff that he's creating. Then you open it up, and it becomes flowers. That's kind of cool, how they show the planets and stuff. But, so I like this one too. You wouldn't think it'd be that complex, but actually the mane is fairly complex to make it feel more like hair. Move on to the last one, running out of time. Here is my favorite one, The Last Battle. And it's amazing, it went off camera. How far they come out of the book. All these characters. And it's amazing. And you see Puddle on back there. At that hat. And this is just really amazing. It's cool how the characters in the back are a lot smaller than the characters in front. It kind of creates the illusion of depth. Makes it look like they're farther away than they are. So I really love this. And the eagle up the top is really cool. So this is my favorite one of all of them. Wardrobe being my second favorite. So overall, I don't like the artwork that much in the pop-up book, but the pop-ups are so much fun. And I love Last Battle and Wardrobe and Dawn Treader, and I think it's a lot of fun. If you're a die-hard Narnia fan, I think you'll enjoy this a lot. $30 might sound like a lot, but the pop-ups are so complex and, you know, and well done, and that I think if you're a huge Narnia fan, I think you'll get a big kick out of these. So I give the Narnia Pop-Up Book a big thumbs up, and I'm glad I got it. 170 days to go until the release of Prince Caspian. Still waiting for the trailer. Hopefully we'll get more news on when it's actually going to be out soon. But, still waiting.